touch on Arsenal quickly. There's a report today that Nico Williams has agreed a deal with Barcelona, but also on top of that, and I believe the story is here, Arsenal have also set to have contact with him. Do you see this as the one that's kind of got away now? Do you think Barcelona are going to get this over the line, or could Arsenal sweep in and take him away from joining the Camp Nou?
He's hard to set. He's hard to set on Barcelona, and he's hard to set, and he hasn't agreed personal terms with anyone. And I don't think he wants to join anyone. He wants to join Lamine Yamal. He wants to stay in Spain. He wants to join Barcelona. And actually, the Barcelona president said that they are willing to meet his release clause and they are willing to actually pay him the wages he wants. Even if Arsenal win for him, and I would have loved to see him in the Premier League. Listen, we watched the Premier League, and I want to see the guy in the Premier League, but I don't think it's happening. I'm not sure how much Arsenal can offer the kid to join them. I don't think they're going to offer him 300, 400K to join because Barcelona are willing to offer him what he wants. Yes, he got away from Arsenal, but there are alternatives as well. He is not, with all due respect to Nico Williams, he's a good player. And yes, we watched him in the international tournament. We watched Enzo Fernandez in the international tournament. And look at where he is now and how he's playing for Chelsea.
You have a Chelsea agenda, Mo. Why you bring up Enzo?
I do have a Chelsea agenda. That's why you. If people, to be honest with you, Nico Williams. Last year I didn't watch him a lot last season. I'm watching it. He has the talent. 21 years old. But there are more players that Arsenal can get. And if this guy wants to join Barcelona, he wants to make a lot of money, he can go. He got from underneath their hands, but I don't think Arsenal fans should cry about this. There are other wingers. There's a Pedro Netos is there. There are other wingers around that Arsenal can get. I know Nico Williams is talented. Why? Why am gaslighting? Why?
The Pedro Neto thing, you know that's gaslighting.
Why is gaslighting? I don't get it.
Never fit, Mo.
But that's what
availability is the best ability. Remember Thomas Partey?
There are a lot of players that had long-term injuries, and since then they haven't had any other injuries. I'm assuming that is the case because they were linked to him. But anyway, moving on from your comment that has nothing to do. It's not gaslighting. There are other wingers in the world that they can move to. Nico Williams, yes, he's going to cost £50 million. There are other wingers they can buy. There are other players they can buy as well. It's not only set on Nico Williams. Good player. We watched him in the Euros. Look very good. But the guy wants to join Barcelona, and Arsenal shouldn't cry on this. They should be all right that they were in for him. But I don't think they bid for him or anything. I actually don't think they did. They didn't bid for the guy. They were willing to pay the release clause if he agreed to join them, and he didn't. That's why they didn't bid for him. They acted like they want a player that wants to join them. It's simple. And he was okay in La Liga last season. It's all right. Like I don't know why a lot of Arsenal fans say that this got from our hands. He didn't want to join us. He just wanted to join another club. It's just simple. There's nothing to be crying about here at all. By the way.
Thing is by the way, I agree with Mo. There is really nothing to cry about. At the end of the day, sometimes the Premier League fans, us as fans, we live in our own bubble where we think our clubs is just everyone's dream. At the end of the day, listen, we have to sometimes put away the fans lens and think from a footballer perspective. Nico Williams grew up in Spain, Spanish, supported the players of his national team, watched the likes of Xavi, Iniesta, and multiple different Spanish stars make it to the top of pinnacles of football, playing for Barcelona, for Real Madrid, even for a little bit for Atletico. So at the end of the day, listen, Barcelona are more attractive than Arsenal to a Spaniard or to a South American player. I think as well where you're from, how, which country you're raised in and shit like this. These things do play a role in like who you want to play for. And even the fact that Jude Bellingham is from Birmingham. He grew up, in England. He idolized Steven Gerrard. He still chose Real Madrid because the aura and the attraction of the club is much higher than anything we think. I think with Nico Williams, at the end of the day, Barcelona are going to be more attractive to a Spanish player over Arsenal 90% of the time. Like that's just my honest opinion, and I don't think they should read too deeply into this at all. And at the end of the day, could go get other players, who play on the wings, who can make an impact. But the one thing I'll say to Arsenal fans, listen, and I know Mo knows this, I really think Arsenal are going to win the league next season. But this transfer window is the most important window of their whole life. And I genuinely mean what I'm saying. City, Terry, just so you know, can give you exclusive. City aren't all sunshine and rainbows as people think. It's not a matter of, oh, City done a 4-peat and they're just going to shit over everyone next season. I don't believe that. I think KDB is talking about Saudi, Eder's talking about Saudi. There will be surprise players that leave that shock people. At the end of the day, City currently, as things stand, because of the hearing that's happening in November, and Mo will know this because you watch the Italian league, all these people who you thought were in love with Juventus, like everyone left except like 4 or 5 players, you know, the likes of Buffon and like Camoranesi and Nedved didn't leave, but everyone else left. And when you look at the current situation at City, obviously the players are not sat back going like 100% they'll be persecuted and relegated, but there might be negative consequences in which they don't want to involve their future. So I don't think things are sunshine and rainbows at City as people think. And from Arsenal's perspective, listen, Arsenal cannot be stupid this transfer window. Arsenal need to be extremely smart this transfer window. I genuinely believe if you tell me right now, Arsenal signed 2 players, but it's just in the positions that they need, I think they can win the league next season. I think they desperately need an 8 because Thomas Partey is there at home to Bournemouth when you don't need him, but when you need him in the other games, in the important games, he's not there. And I think they need a forward to put the ball in the back of the net. And I watched what one of the guys said on the top 6 shows, I think it was Henry Wright, who said, listen, Arsenal scored X amount of goals. Here's the thing. Yes, they did score a whole lot of goals last season, but those came in culminations of games like the Sheffields and like these games where they kind of slapped teams. Remember that they had the run where they kind of started slapping teams by 5 or 6 goals over like a 4 or 5 game period. And it kind of increased their goal difference by like 20, 25 goals. But before that, their goal difference wasn't that high. And I'm not going to ignore a large chunk of the season. I still think Arsenal need a goal-scoring forward. And I'll tell you there's an even bigger reason. The reason why Arsenal need a goal-scoring forward, whether it be on the wing or up top, is because they need someone to alleviate pressure off of Bukayo Saka. Every time I watch Arsenal front 3, it's like the pressure of the entirety of the Arsenal fans is on Bukayo Saka's back. And he's the one who needs to get a goal. And he's the one who needs to get an assist. It's like Liverpool, when we had Sadio Mane alone, we went through the January period. We lost all 6-7 games in that January period without Mane when he went to AFCON. And then he came back, we started winning again.
Yeah.
We brought Mo Salah in. Suddenly Mo Salah scoring goals, Mane scoring goals, and the pressure is off of Sadio Mane's back. And he brought out the best in him. And I think Martinelli, Trossard, Havertz, Nketiah, Nelson, whoever the hell you bring to the table is nowhere near Saka's level. Your team cannot be Saka, Odegaard, inshallah. No, you need someone. You need a running mate. You need someone to score goals. And I think even if it's someone as simple as an Ivan Toney or just someone who could get you, Terry, just 18, 19 Premier League goals. Nothing special. A goal every 2 games, you know? 18, 19 Premier League goals, 20 Premier League goals.
Yeah.
That's going to win the league.
They need the 1-0 guy. That's what they're missing. They need that 1-0 guy, that 2-1 guy. And I don't think it's going to be like Kai Havertz is a good player. He had a good second half of the season. They need that guy that will win you the game when it's 1-0 and it's clunky and it's not working. You need that world-class player that will win you that game. And it cannot be all the time, as Hassan says, the suckers. And that guy, maybe it's an Isak, maybe I don't know who else, maybe it's an Osimhen. I don't know who that player is, but they need to spend the money on that player. It might have been Nico Williams, it might have been someone else. They need that guy. That guy exists. Because I don't think it's going to be the Kai Havertz and all these guys. I don't think so. Yeah, it's not. I didn't even speak about Arsenal yet.
I know.
It's
Madrid fans says City didn't win the league. Arsenal lost it twice. My club needs to replace Partey this window, and I am kind of scared it won't happen. It'd be really. I mean, there are some gooners I've seen online who don't think they're going to sign a top quality forward or a top quality midfielder. If that happens, I think maybe Hassam, your opinion would change, right?
If what? If they replace Partey, or they don't?
If they don't sign a top midfielder and or a top attacker, would your opinion change?
Yes, because as good as Arsenal are, I still think they need 2 extra pieces. Calafiori is a fantastic signing,
Mikel Merino for them.
It wasn't the main thing.
Todd Bowley's accountant says, Terry, you can't call the show straight facts and then invite a fraud like Hassam.
From the original straight facts crew, Hussam is the only one left standing here. That's number 1. Number 2, me and Mo completely agreed. on the Chelsea section. So how's it big
On-
up to
on-
Mo, but fuck Hussam?
What I'll say is this, though, is straight facts is called straight facts. Is a dig at anybody that gives an opinion and said it's a fact. It's not. I still don't realize that people don't know that. I think we need Mr. 2 or 3-0 to kill off games. Yeah. But the world-class guy could also help you do that as well, can't he? Like, he can do both those things. Yeah.